Welcome. My name is Trish and thank you for joining me for today's reading. Today I'm taking a look at Virginia Roberts Giuffre, the Dead Man Switch. So apparently there has been some videos released on the internet that she missed her last two check-ins, and so she set up a switch. So if something happened to her, then videos would start being released. So we've had the first video that is released and there's more to come. Now my issue is with this situation is that AI is so good now that we just don't know what to believe. Now what I watched, there was only audio, there was no video, so it makes it even harder to analyze whether or not there's truth in this. Some of the things that she revealed were, she mentioned names. She said she would drop 2 names on that video and she dropped 4 names. So whether or not this is real, it feels like a possibility of it being AI. So that's what I'm asking on today. So that's why I've got my predictions deck out for this style of reading, is because it has the AI cards in it, just to indicate if there's any trickery going on here. I'm going to link my video at the end of this, of the last reading I did a month ago, because I kept saying trigger. I kept hearing trigger, and a lot of the things that I was getting could indicate that there could have been some kind of switch or trigger, because it was very similar to the style of reading that I was doing on that last reading a month ago. So, and I'd watched it back and it kind of does relate. So, and being silenced to and lose credibility, I think, as well. So it's one of the steps was to lose some credibility of her, so when she does release things, people are not going to believe it. So anyway, that video is going to be at the end. Now I just want to say that I do not do personal readings. Recently I've had a person setting up a fake account. They used my pink logo, my pink picture. It's coming through as trishajames.1. And it will respond to your messages in the comments saying, thank you for your comments, lots of hearts and icons, which I don't really do. Personal reading, click this link, or here's my phone number. I don't give out my phone number. I would never, links only that I put on my page are to my website. So if I'm not doing personal readings at the moment because I'm so busy with the personalized decks that I'm working on. So if somebody's sending you a message saying I'm doing personal readings, I'm not. The closest I'll get to personal readings is live readings. And you can ask questions on the live readings, which I do have one coming up tomorrow, Sunday at 1 p.m. Australian time. And I think it's Saturday at 7 or 9 p.m. depending on if you're Canada or America. So let's get into this reading. Now, these are the cards that I'm using today, the prediction decks, to check if there's any AI involved here. The Shadows Stardust Tarot, because this is the one that gives information around her situation, what she's been through. And the Connection deck, this is edition 2, this is the new one, and I haven't read that on her yet, so I thought I'd like to give this one a go with her reading today. Now I pulled some cards originally to see what my connection was like, and this is the 2 cards that came through for my connection. So they showed me when I first tapped in, because I always check my connection before going into a reading to see what kind of a connection, or if there's any issues with the connection. Last time I tried to read on Virginia, I had a big eye. I think it was her. There was a big eye in the connection, so I had to go back out and then go back in, redo everything, the connection and protection ritual again, to go back in to get through. Now this time when I've tapped in, I had like a big, almost like a big penetrating thing that I had to get through. So it was like a very heavy energy on top of my head. So I had to do a bit of cleansing and work through with the spirit team to work through that. So it almost felt like pressure on my head, like almost a really weak headache, which I don't have a headache. And it was like they were showing it to me as in like something energy, heavy energy sitting above in the ether. So it was a little bit hard to penetrate, but I worked through that. Then they showed me the connection, which almost gave me a vision of like the Matrix, or the connections through somehow. So it was really interesting. They've never showed it to me that way. So there was a whole bunch of streams of connections, almost look like a Matrix style, where it comes out of the back of the neck and there's all these little connections. So that's kind of what they showed me, and that's the first time I've ever seen it that way. So it was a little bit different tapping in here. Now when I asked the cards, they said confused mind. I just wanted to check what was going on. It said confused mind, unclear. So that's where I had to do a little bit of work to try and work through that energy up the top top there to be able to penetrate through to tap in properly. And then over here it's intentional, so I had to set my intentions on what I was doing today for this reading and be very clear about it. So that's when I talked to my spirit team about Virginia, and these two cards came out. That there was somebody else here, not Virginia, somebody else was here, like spirit medium. This is a medium deck. It helps you with medium stuff. Somebody else was here and I asked who, and it says multiple. So there's multiple spirits here at the moment. But today I've only got the time for the one reading. Today is not my normal reading day. It's Saturday. And I'm just doing this quick reading, and I may fit in one other reading after that. I'm not too sure, depending on how long this reading goes for. So let's tap into the energy here now with Virginia. Let's see if we can make a connection to that energy. Once again, they're telling me there's multiple spirit here at the moment wanting to tap through, so I've got to kind of narrow it down, and a work connection, so a work connection or an injury. So it's probably one prominent person that has passed of a workplace injury coming through. So, and I think I actually did a short here a few days ago about a week ago, a spirit that came through, and I kept getting a work connection, or he died on the job, and somebody in uniform, and this is coming through again. So a soul group family bond. I wonder if he was talking. He was talking. That's one of the cards. I should find that short and upload it. Family bond. Okay, I need to clear the energy because I'm getting multiple spirits here, and I've got things dropping in the background. So yeah, it's very, very active here at the moment. So calm. So let me just pull through and see if I can just make a direct connection to who, and that's what the card said. I need to be intentional on who I want to speak to today. So let me see if I can tap in here. Okay, back again. Cards are, you're watching me pull these cards, and I was normally, when I'm doing a reading on a certain person and I get stuff going on that's not related to that topic, I will not put it in the video, but I think I might include it in this video just so I can show you how these cards work. Oh, this could possibly be that kind of video. Somebody's asked me to do a reading on how these cards work. So this video that I'm doing right now is going to show you how these cards work, and then I will read on Virginia. So this is a bit of a change what's going on here, but I'm going to keep the video as is, so that way you can see the process of how all of this worked. Once again, these cards have fallen out. Someone else. Again, there's someone else here, not Virginia. I'm asking, they said set my intention. I'm specifically visualizing and asking for Virginia, but they keep saying no, someone else is here. Who's here? There's still multiple people here, multiple spirits here, skill and presence. Now, as I said, the one that came through to me about a week ago was a male energy, passed on in duty or at his job in a uniform, masculine energy. He kept talking about family bonds. So let me do a reading here and tell you how these work as we go, because I'll work with the spirits that are here, so that I can then do the reading that I set my intention to do. Again, I just had to do that little reading with the Connections Oracle. So I've switched decks now just to change the energy here. Back to Virginia Giuffre and those a Dead Man Switch releasing videos about her experiences. Now, I did get this in the reading that I did last week. Or actually it was last month. It was a month ago that I did the reading. It said that she knows too much, she's in too deep. The situation she was in too deep. So she was a liability because she knew too much. So let me just see if I'm really, yes, too much information. So she had too much information. Perhaps she wanted to release that information, or gathering facts. So she knew too much information, so she was a liability. Okay, good intentions, denied access. Okay, denied or not permitted. Denied, not permitted. Not permitted to release the information that she was releasing, or that something that she said, she was not permitted to do that. in the entertainment issue. Oh, entertainment. Releasing names of entertainers. Now that video that I saw, that I'm querying whether or not it's real, if it's an AI video, it did talk about some entertainers. 2 of them. Actually, she named 2 names. And talking about draining, blood draining. Exposing the names of the people that did that. Now, she didn't talk about that in the video that I watched, so maybe that's coming up in one of the later next kill switches. Okay, so I'm going to ask this deck. I'm going to think about that video that I watched last night. Now, I think if it's real, it's going to get scrubbed from the internet. I am not going to mention the names, because if this is fake, then I'm further attributing to fake information, misinformation. We're talking about very, very well-known people here that the names released, and quite graphic about what, or detailed, I should say, not graphic, detailed information about what they were involved in. Trying to cover it up. That was the trail of thought that I was going in on. I was talking about if this is real, then that information is going to get scrubbed from the internet. We're not going to see it. They're going to make sure they cover it up, and make sure that information is spread, removed from the internet if it's real. Okay, as I said, one of these people that she mentioned, I'm not allowed to read on. I'm not allowed to ask on. I had a warning dream, very, very visual, scary dream. Visual told me to back off, dead in the eyes, back off. So there's a certain person I'm not allowed to read on. I'm not allowed to tap into their energy. Okay, so here, obedient, compliant, obedience. Okay. I'm just thinking about the video now, and I'm asking, is it real? Is it real? Okay, this card here is not involved. Not involved. And this card here says the very sinister dark things, or the dark motives, not involved in the dark stuff. Okay. When we're talking about the blood draining card, so, and that information wasn't on this video, so the names that she mentioned are not connected to that topic. Not involved in that stuff, that dark stuff. Okay, this is the Yacht Girl card. 6 of Cups, talking about the past, but it's also talking about girls that are used for celebrities, or even celebrity girls. Talking of celebrities, this is talking about yacht girls in the entertainment industry, the type of entertainment. Connections fill out. 10 of Cups. We have got the Death card, talking about endings, and this is Virginia, so this is the ending that she came to. So her connections, the people that she was involved with, could be related to her ending, sacrificial ending. And this is the past too. It's not just Yacht Girl, it's talking about, it's the 6 of Cups, so it is talking about her past. This is her past related to her. So I do feel like her energy's in now. So took a little bit for her to actually come through, because there was a fair few spirits here earlier. Okay, now I'm asking Virginia if she actually did have some kind of backup information to be released if she passed. Okay, so she's saying something was recorded, so it could be something she was involved in, something was done to her, or she was involved in, that was recorded. Now, I asked her if she does have something that will be released if she passed, like a they call it a dead man switch, I think. And it's saying something was recorded. She did record something. Could be related, talking about the rituals, but she feels regret that she was involved in anything like that. Now, getting back to specifically the video that I saw, was that one of your videos that you, or was that something you recorded to be released? You were talking about leverage. It was related to leverage, getting leverage. Like a safeguard. It was a leverage, like an insurance policy. Like, I've got this information I'm going to release if something happens to me. So it's more like saying it gets you leverage so something won't happen to you, because if something happens to you, then you will release that information. That's what I'm picking up out of that card. Now she is saying it is the right track, but it may be the one that I saw is not hers. The video that I saw may not be hers, not involved. Masked appearance. Masked appearance means masked, disguised. To me, it always means wrong face. So it's not her face. It's not her. It's masked. It's masked to be disguised as her. Just like I thought. So that she has them. She has information that she can release. Says she has some stuff that's recorded, and that she was using that for leverage. I'll release this if something happens to me. So now that could mean that somebody could have already cleaned that information up or got hold of that information. And I'm just tapping into something that happened to her a month before. I wonder if it was somehow connected to that. That's how they try to destroy evidence. I don't know. This is what I'm going through my mind at the moment. So that thing that happened to her the month before she passed may be somehow connected to this switch, or maybe that's when she did record it. She recorded something because she thought somebody was targeting her. So she was putting safeguards in place, like an insurance policy at that time. So maybe that's when it was done. It's saying, though, the one that I saw the other night is she wasn't involved in that one. It's saying that somebody was disguised as her. Now, the video that I saw was just a picture of her with a voice recording. So it could just be a disguise as her. Now, it could be AI. AI is so amazing now. You just don't know the technology that it could easily probably take someone's voice and make them sound like they're saying something else. Now, I'm just going to pull quickly from the predictions deck. So I don't doubt that she has some kind of leverage or insurance policy, something that was recorded. But I don't think the one that I saw is it. Yes, they're saying yes. Yes, she does have it. She does have some kind of insurance policy. Medical advance. In that video that I did watch, they talked about somebody that was using victims for medical advancement. In a way, not those exact words, but the same kind of meaning. So that was one of the names that she mentioned. That's interesting. Yes, so yes, she does have something. Okay, at the moment, that information is staying put. It has not been released and not being released at the moment. It's staying put, holding onto it for power. So there's a power move. So maybe somebody in power that's a royal. Maybe it's, okay, they're either holding onto it for a certain reason to be used at a certain time. They're holding onto it. It's staying put, that information that she's got, and somebody's holding onto that information. Now, I don't know if that's related to the leverage. It's a planned outcome. They've got a plan for when that information, that there is something, they've got evidence, they've got a recording that she's made, but they're holding on to it, not releasing it. It's staying put at the moment. Somehow connected to the royal family. So maybe that's to do with somebody there might be holding it, or it could be that they're holding off for a certain reason. Fake news. So there is going to be some fakes that will be released. Okay, volcanoes and mountains. This card always likes to make its appearance. It made its appearance for months earlier in the year. Then we had a whole bunch of volcanoes go off in February. Now, when I did the 2020 off topic, I'm very sorry, but I've got to read the cards as they come out. So sometimes this card and the plane card jumps out. Commercial airlines will jump out when there's something going on in the world that needs to be revealed, because this is the world prediction deck, so it has every right to jump out and let us know if something's coming. Now, I was getting this over and over again for months, end of last year into early this year, and then we had a bunch of volcanoes go off earlier in the year around about February. When I did the reading in December for 2025, I said there would be volcanoes or fire related predictions coming up, and the months that they gave me, now I thought it was going to be, let me think here, March and September. They were using astrology, I pulled that information out, but the cards told me no, February and August, they said. So we're going to have some disaster type things, maybe active earth events in February, which we did. We had a whole bunch of volcanoes going off. They're starting to heat up again, but they warned me about August. August for volcanoes or some kind of natural disasters. Okay. Was that video that I watched on Virginia, was that fake? Okay, so there will be something released in the public. Let me just try and tap in to see what they mean. These cards are not designed to read these topics. Betrayed or backstabbed. Okay. She has videos that are going to be released that they'll be used as a weapon on a certain person. Somebody that is a public figure. Somebody that will be, it's be like a betrayal or a backstabbing that takes place with this public figure. And some of the information that she has is going to be used as a weapon against that person. Okay, I'm actually going to leave that there because I know the cards already did answer my question that I was asking, was it fake? Well, it did say would there definitely be fakes around. They kept saying not involved for that one, so I feel like she's not involved in the one that I saw where she named 2 people, but she actually named 4. She said she was releasing 2 famous, very famous people, but she named 2. So I kind of feel like this one may not be real because it kept saying not involved, but she did say that there is information that's being held or somebody's holding on to some kind of information at the moment, staying put, hasn't released it yet, that she does have. So she does have either video recordings of events that happened or some kind of event that she made a month prior to her passing as like in case, like a leverage I'm going to release this information if I pass. So like an insurance policy. So, and that I feel like was made a month before she passed. Now, so I am getting that the one that I saw kind of doesn't feel to be real to me. And I did get fake news as well. So I'm going to leave this reading here because it has kind of answered the question that it has answered the question that I asked. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this lighter reading, and I will be back with the next one hopefully tomorrow.